How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of Pilsner time. A little bit of Pilsner time from a couple of breweries that you kind of wouldn't think you'd get a Pilsner from, but you actually would think you'd get a Pilsner from if you've gone to the brewery or actually drank beers from them before they got all shit crazy popular. And that is Other Half Brewing, Trillium Brewing. It's their Possibly of Interest Pilsner. Yeah. This was given to me by my buddy Brad or Tom, either one. They both went to Other Half on the way to meeting me in Jersey the other day, and they dropped a 4-pack of these jammers on me, and I am going to review it because that is what I do. I mean, like I said, Other Half and Trillium, Possibly of Interest, Pilsner, 4.8% alcohol by volume. Done and done. On the bottom here it says, I have no idea, can't really read it, but it's probably a little bit less than a week old. So she be fresh. Label-wise, you know, typical, you know, Other Half geometric pattern, bubbly things, but it's nothing too crazy, you know. Lime and lavender, mixture of bubbles. What do you want? So here we go. Give this sucker a pour. A little bit of fuzzies. Come on, baby. Let's see what she's got. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. A lot of times when you get Pilsners from a lot of these kind of new school breweries, you expect something outside of your traditional Pilsner. Something a bit more kind of, you know, freaky, Americanized craziness. You know, I went to a brewery not too long ago. I asked for their Pilsner, and it literally looked like butternut squash soup. So you kind of expect that sometimes when it comes to these breweries. That, my friends, is pretty much what a Pilsner should look like. I mean, stone cold clear, a little bit of soft carbonation, kind of a washed out, like bright, vibrant yellow, and a soft white, if not slightly off-white head. So, I mean, look at that. That is crystal clear. You could read the newspaper or kill some ants out in the sun with that sucker. So, yeah, that'd be a Pilsner. See if we can get a nose on her. Okay. So we're not super traditional and nose, but here's the thing. It's not coming off like crazy weird or crazy like hopped or crazy messed with. It just doesn't smell like a traditional Pilsner. It smells like a Pilsner, a little bit less robust in that kind of yeasty, estery kind of vibe. It's not as robust. It's a little bit more kind of almost like it smells like a Pilsner, but without lager yeast or very, very gentle, subtle kind of lager yeast. There's really not much there to it. The hop end of things, not much bittering there at all. I get a soft kind of honeydew melon. That's pretty much all I get in there. It's nice. It's very gentle. It's very subtle. There's nothing too big kind of yelling or screaming at you at all. In that sense, it's very traditional, but it doesn't get any soft kind of zazzy, kind of European kind of bittering hops. You're not getting the kind of, not getting a punch in the face of like a lager yeastiness, but you're just really not getting much of that either. It smells more like a Pilsner malted, almost non-lagered style beer. Let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah. Okay. The hops are definitely there in the taste. You do get a little bit of the bittering in the hops, but it's still kind of leading the way with that kind of melon vibe. It's all about the honeydew melon in this thing. Big, robust honeydew with a soft kind of Pilsner malt. Again, not much as far as the lager yeast going on. And there's a nice kind of bittering to balance off all that sweetness going on in there. It's not old school herbally kind of spicy bittering. It's just kind of a generic kind of bitter. Nice mouthfeel, not, you know, not vibrantly carbonated, but at the same time carbonated enough. It actually tastes like an American take on a Pilsner. Now I say that with a little bit of asterisk to it because I let it off saying most American breweries, they kind of when they do these Pilsners, they go so far outside the traditional style of a Pilsner. Listen, BJCP be damned. It's kind of an old notion. It has its place in the beer world, but beer styles aren't necessarily something that should be kind of, you know, held up as far as a what's the word I'm looking for, as a you know what I mean, as a God, man, lack of words sometimes, as they pinnacle as the jumping off point, or held up to a standard and be like, if it's not this, then it sucks. Beer is so wide and so varied nowadays. But when you're starting to get into these kind of like more traditional styles, I know I tend to lean a little bit, okay, is it more like a traditional Pilsner, which I tend to love more than these kooky weird ones. Not that I don't love the kooky weird ones, but I don't want to grade with in style. But when you're talking about a Pilsner, you know what I mean? Anyway, not to get too weird, but this tastes like an American version take of a Pilsner without it being one of those weird, kooky, kind of throw everything against the beer and see if it sticks kind of Pilsner. I like that. I dig it. In a perfect world, it would, if I had to choose between this and a more traditional Pilsner, I'd probably go with something a little bit more traditional, just because that's kind of where my loyalties lie as far as my taste buds go, and that's what I grade everything on, is how things taste. And but again, I kind of dig how that melon thing's coming off. I do like it. And the fact that it's kind of doesn't have much lager vibiness to it just kind of makes me think it's more kind of a Pilsner ale with a little bit of kind of soft Americanized hops as opposed to something a bit more traditional. Not that it has to be. But yeah, I actually really dig it. I think it's fun. I think it's nice. But if I'm going to cut to the chase and go, is it one of the better Pilsners I've had as late? Probably not. Is it one of the more thoughtful takes from American breweries on the Pilsner style? Yes. Hopefully that's translating well enough. What I'm trying to get off was that it's definitely in the vein, and it stays in the traditional sense of it's trying to be very kind of subtle and gentle and like that. It's not getting too hazy, too crazy, too hoppy, too whatever, but it's markedly different than a traditional Pilsner. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Value and availability, I don't know, it's other half. $20 a 4-pack, even for a Pilsner probably. Brewery only, and leave you with, if you like, well, you like this. If you like honeydew melons, if you like Pilsners, but you do like the American take on things, again, you're going to get as close as you can traditional-wise without having a bigger lager base to it, while at the same time going with a little bit more kind of new school hops. Again, none of this is super impactful in your face. It's very soft, very gentle. It's fun, but if you like those kind of flavors and you want them in a tight, tidy, smaller package, then it's going to do you proper, baby. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there, if you want to talk about it, Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massive. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little Pilsner right now, and hopefully see you next time. Cheers.